Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, champions in the making, let me tell you something that will shift your entire destiny if you catch it today. Hope placed anywhere but in God is hope that will always disappoint. But hope in God, oh, that's the kind of hope that moves mountains, that opens doors no man can shut, that makes a way where there seems to be no way. See, we live in a world where people are desperate to anchor their hope in something, a bank account, a job title, a relationship, a government, a system. But all those things are fragile, they're temporary, they're flawed. When hope is placed in anything other than God, disappointment is inevitable. People often anchor their expectations in things that seem stable: money, careers, relationships, or even their own abilities. At first, these things might look promising. They might provide a temporary sense of security, a brief feeling of satisfaction. But the truth is, anything that is built by human hands or rooted in human systems is by nature fragile. It can break, it can change, and it can fail. No matter how strong it looks today, it is subject to circumstances beyond your control tomorrow. Money can be here today and gone tomorrow. Economies shift. Markets crash. Jobs that once seemed secure can suddenly evaporate with a single decision from someone sitting in an office you'll never even meet. Relationships, as precious as they are, involve imperfect people. Even the people who love us the most can let us down, not because they are malicious, but because they are human. Our talents, our skills, and our wisdom, all incredible gifts, still have limits. We age. We grow tired, we make mistakes. Every human structure, no matter how grand, is built with cracks invisible to the eye until the pressure hits, and that's why hope misdirected will always lead to heartbreak. It's like building a house on sand. It looks good until the storms come, and then the foundation crumbles. And the pain of that collapse isn't just about losing something. It's about realizing that our hope was placed in something that could never carry the weight of our expectations to begin with. God, however, is different. He is not fragile. He does not change. He cannot be manipulated by economies, circumstances, or shifting human emotions. His strength is eternal, his character is flawless, and his promises are unbreakable. When hope is placed in him, not partly, not conditionally, but completely, it anchors your soul to something immovable. It roots you in a foundation that remains steady no matter how fierce the winds of life might blow. Hope in God doesn't mean that life will be free of challenges. What it means is that even when challenges come, you will not be shaken, you will not crumble, you will not fall apart, because your trust is not in something that can die, decay, or disappear. Your trust is in the one who spoke the universe into existence, the one who holds all things together by the power of his word. Hope misplaced will always betray you at the worst possible time. But hope in God. Hope in God will sustain you, lift you, strengthen you, and position you for a life of purpose and victory that no human system can take away. That is why hope must be for only God, because only God is truly worthy of it. God is not just capable of doing great things, he is willing and eager to move on behalf of those who trust him. Many people believe that God is powerful, but they stop short of believing that he desires to use that power for their good. They see him as distant, removed, or uninterested in the details of their lives. They think he is a mighty creator who set the world in motion and then stepped back to watch it unfold from a distance. But that is not the truth about who God is. The God who formed the heavens and the earth is also the God who numbers every hair on your head, who sees every tear you cry, and who longs to be intimately involved in every aspect of your journey. When you look at Scripture, you don't see a God who is reluctant to bless his people. You see a God who consistently steps in, fights for them, provides for them, and showers them with favor. He's not looking for reasons to hold back. He's looking for opportunities to pour out. His heart toward his children is generous, not stingy. His posture is not crossed arms and skepticism. It's open hands and an open heart. Over and over again, he invites his people to come to him, to ask boldly, to seek earnestly, and to trust completely. He is not withholding because he is unsure. He is waiting because he wants our faith to rise up and reach out for what he is ready to give. We project human behavior onto God. We think that because people have withheld love, help, or encouragement from us, God must operate the same way. But God's ways are higher, His love is perfect, His mercy is abundant, and His willingness to bless far exceeds anything we can understand. He is more eager to give than we are to receive. He is more excited about our future than we are. When we place our hope fully in Him, we are not twisting His arm to get Him to move. We are aligning ourselves with what He already wants to do. God's eagerness is also seen in how He sent His only Son, Jesus Christ, to redeem us. He didn't wait until we got everything right. He didn't demand that we climb up to Him. Instead, He came down to us. That act alone should settle forever the question of whether God is willing. He already moved first. He already paid the highest price. He already said yes over your life through the cross and resurrection. Now He waits for us to answer His yes with a faith that believes He means what He says. When you know that God is both able and willing, you approach Him differently. You pray differently, you dream differently, you live differently. You don't come to Him like a beggar hoping for crumbs. You come boldly as a beloved child expecting a feast. You don't tiptoe around His promises, wondering if maybe you're asking for too much. You stand firm, knowing that no good thing will He withhold from those who walk uprightly. God's willingness is not a question. His eagerness is not up for debate. It is a divine certainty waiting for your confident hope to unlock it. Hope is not just a wish, it is the confident expectation that something good is about to happen because God said so. Wishing is rooted in uncertainty. When people wish for something, they often carry a sense of doubt alongside it, almost as if they are tossing a coin into a fountain and crossing their fingers that something might work out. But hope, the kind of hope that is anchored in God, is a completely different reality. It is not flimsy, it is not built on chance, it is grounded firmly in the unchanging promises of an unchanging God. When you place your hope in God, you are not hoping based on random desires or temporary emotions. You are building your expectation on the eternal truth of His Word. Every promise He made, He intends to fulfill. Every covenant He established, He plans to complete. God does not speak idle words. His word is alive, powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword. His promises are not empty sentiments. They are declarations of His will, backed by the full weight of His character and His power. Real hope comes from knowing who God is. It comes from understanding that He is not a man that He should lie, nor a son of man that He should change His mind. If He said it, He will do it. If He promised it, He will bring it to pass. That's why hope is so powerful. It is not rooted in our ability to make things happen, but in God's ability to fulfill what He has already declared. Hope lifts our eyes off of our circumstances and fixes them on the character and faithfulness of God. This confident expectation shapes how you live, it shapes how you pray, it shapes how you move forward, even when everything around you looks impossible. Hope keeps you standing when others fall. Hope keeps you believing when others give up. Hope keeps you moving when everything in the natural world tells you to quit. When your hope is grounded in God, you are operating from a place of divine certainty, not human guesswork. There is an energy that comes with real hope. It ignites your spirit, it sharpens your focus, it stirs your courage. Instead of dragging through life, weighed down by fear and frustration, hope causes you to walk with your head high and your heart strong. You begin to expect favor, you begin to expect open doors. You begin to expect the miraculous, not because you think you deserve it, but because you know the one who delights in doing the impossible for His children. Hope is a powerful force because it declares, even in the face of adversity, I know my God is faithful. I know my God is able. I know my God is working even when I can't see it yet. Hope dares to celebrate before the victory shows up. Hope dares to praise before the answer arrives. Hope builds a bridge from where you are to where God has promised to take you, and it invites you to start walking across it today. Hope in God makes you unshakable in a world full of instability. Every day we are surrounded by uncertainty. Economies fluctuate, leaders change, relationships shift, and circumstances can turn upside down without warning. Many people live in a constant state of anxiety because they are trying to find security in a world that was never designed to provide it. They place their trust in temporary things, and when those things crumble, so does their peace. But when your hope is placed firmly in God, you are rooted in something that cannot be moved. You are anchored to the one who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The difference between people who collapse under pressure and those who rise above it is not in the pressure itself, but in what they are anchored to. If you are anchored to your own understanding, your own resources, or the stability of the systems around you, then when the storms hit, and they always will, you will be tossed and turned, overwhelmed by fear and uncertainty. But if you are anchored to God, if your hope is set on His promises and His faithfulness, then the storms may rage, but they will not sink you. The winds may howl, but they will not move you. The waters may rise, but they will not drown you. Hope in God acts like a spiritual anchor, holding you steady when everything around you is in chaos. It keeps you calm when others are panicking. It keeps you confident when others are doubting. It keeps you moving forward when others are standing still or turning back. This kind of hope is not passive. It is not sitting idly by, wishing things would get better. It is active, strong, and fiercely determined. It is a hope that says, I know who my God is, and I will not be shaken by what I see. When you build your life on the rock, the shifting sands of culture, politics, finances, and even personal circumstances cannot undo you. You can walk through economic downturns without fear of lack. You can endure betrayal without becoming bitter. You can face bad news without falling apart. Not because you are ignoring reality, but because you are anchored to a higher reality, God's truth. God's unfailing word. This kind of hope changes how you respond to life. It gives you a boldness that doesn't make sense to the world. It causes you to speak life when others are speaking death. It enables you to declare victory when others are predicting defeat. It creates in you a stability that draws others, because in a world full of fear, people are desperate to find someone who is standing firm. Hope in God does not deny that challenges exist. It simply refuses to let challenges have the final word. It holds fast to the truth that God is greater, that His promises are sure, and that His plan for your life cannot be undone by the shifting tides of the world. In a world full of instability, those who place their hope in God will be the ones who endure, overcome, and shine. Letting go of false hopes and clinging to God as the one true source is not just a suggestion. It is a necessity for a life rooted in peace, strength, and victory. We are all tempted at times to put our hope in things that look good, sound promising, or feel secure for the moment. Maybe it's a career opportunity, a relationship, a government program, or even our own hard work. These things can offer the illusion of stability, but when they are shaken, and they will be, they reveal themselves for what they truly are: unreliable foundations that cannot sustain the weight of real life. False hopes are seductive because they often meet an immediate emotional need. They whisper promises of control, security, and satisfaction, but over time they drain us. They wear us down because they constantly demand more while delivering less. They set us up for cycles of disappointment and frustration. When our hope is in money, for example, we are only as secure as the next paycheck. When our hope is in people, we are only as steady as their moods and decisions. When our hope is in ourselves, we are only as strong as our best day, and even the best among us fall short. Letting go of these false hopes can be hard because it feels like stepping into the unknown. It feels like giving up control, but in truth it is not stepping into uncertainty. It is stepping into the arms of the one who holds all certainty in his hands. It is not losing control. It is transferring your trust to the only one who is truly in control. It is not giving up security. It is finally securing yourself to a foundation that will not fail. God is the source of all life, all provision, all wisdom, and all strength. When you cling to Him, you are connected to an endless supply of everything you need. He does not run dry. He does not forget. He does not change His mind. He is not moved by the world's chaos, and He is not intimidated by your challenges. He is steady, faithful, and infinitely powerful. When you place your hope in Him alone, you tap into that unshakable stability. Choosing to cling to God also simplifies your life. It cuts through the noise of competing voices and distractions. It frees you from the exhausting task of trying to keep everything together by your own strength. When your hope is fully in God, you can live with an open hand, knowing that He will place in it everything you need at the right time. You can face the unknown with confidence because you are walking with the one who already knows the end from the beginning. The call is clear. Release the false hopes that have been draining you and take hold of the true source that will empower you. God is not just an option among many. He is the only one worthy of your complete trust. When you cling to Him, you are not holding onto a wish or a possibility. You are anchoring yourself to the ultimate reality of His goodness, His faithfulness, and His unstoppable love. When your hope is fully placed in God, nothing is impossible and breakthrough becomes inevitable. There is a shift that happens when you stop looking at your limitations and start focusing on God's limitless power. On your own, there are things you simply cannot do, mountains you cannot move, and doors you cannot open. But when you are walking in partnership with God, those same mountains become stepping stones, those same closed doors swing wide open, and what once seemed impossible becomes your new reality. God specializes in doing what human logic says cannot be done. Time and time again throughout history, He has taken impossible situations and turned them into testimonies of His greatness. Whether it was parting the Red Sea for Moses, bringing water from a rock for the Israelites, causing a barren woman like Sarah to give birth in her old age, or raising Lazarus from the dead, God has always demonstrated that He operates on a level far beyond human reasoning. He does not need ideal conditions. He does not need man's approval. He simply needs a heart that will hope in Him without reservation. Hope in God transforms how you see your challenges. Instead of looking at obstacles as permanent, you begin to see them as temporary setups for a greater demonstration of God's power. Instead of seeing delays as denials, you start to recognize them as divine appointments preparing you for something better than you expected. Hope causes you to live with an expectation that good is coming, that victory is near, and that breakthrough is not just possible, it's promised. Breakthrough begins when hope is anchored in God's ability, not in your circumstances. It's easy to hope when everything looks good, when the path is clear, and when resources are abundant. But real mountain-moving hope shows up when there is no visible evidence, when the odds are stacked against you, and when the world has counted you out. That's when God steps in and says, "Watch what I can do when someone dares to hope only in me." Living with this kind of hope means you stop limiting your dreams to what you can accomplish on your own. You stop shrinking your prayers to fit what seems reasonable. You start praying bold prayers, dreaming big dreams, and taking bold steps because you understand that it's not about your ability to make it happen. It's about God's faithfulness to fulfill what He has promised. Your hope lifts your faith, and your faith moves mountains. There is nothing too hard for God. No sickness too severe, no financial crisis too deep, no broken relationship too damaged, no dream too far gone. If He has spoken it, He will bring it to pass. If He has promised it, He will complete it. Hope in God turns impossibility into inevitability. It shifts your spirit from survival mode to conquering mode. It causes you to walk through life not with fear and hesitation, but with boldness and joy, fully expecting the goodness of God to meet you at every turn.